7 of the most popular golf balls in the world might be quietly wrecking your scorecard. Not because they're bad golf balls. They're not. But because there's a dirty secret in amateur golf that nobody talks about enough. The ball that helps one player stick a wedge 3 feet from the pin can make another player balloon drives, lose distance, or watch their slice curve even further into the trees. Golf ball selection is one of the most misunderstood parts of this sport, and most amateurs get it completely wrong. So let's break down 7 wildly popular golf balls, explain exactly who they hurt and why, and figure out what you should actually be playing. Let's start with the king, the Titleist Pro V1. This is the best-selling golf ball on the planet. It's what the pros play. It's the ball sitting in the display case at every golf shop. And for a lot of golfers, it's a complete waste of about $55 per dozen. The Pro V1 and the Pro V1X are industry standards for a reason. MyGolfSpy's 2025 ball test specifically named the Pro V1X, the Pro V1, and the Bridgestone Tour BX as strong options for golfers looking for iron distance with added spin. That spin is the key word. Tour-level spin rates help elite players stop the ball on a dime from 150 yards. That backspin on approach shots, that checkup around the greens, that's what makes the Pro V1 special. But here's the part nobody at the golf shop tells you. That same spin that helps a tour player control a wedge shot can absolutely destroy a high handicapper's game. Extra spin on driver shots means more side spin, which means your slice gets worse. It means your drives balloon up into the air and come down short. For a player who already struggles with a 25 handicap and loses 5 balls per 18 holes, you're not getting a performance advantage. You're making a $55 donation to the woods, the water, and the tall grass on every single round. The Pro V1 isn't a bad ball. It might be the best ball ever made. But if your swing speed doesn't generate enough compression, if you don't have the short game to take advantage of that spin, and if your biggest problem is keeping the ball in play, you are paying premium money to make your existing problems worse. That's the definition of destroying your game. Number 2 is the Titleist Pro V1X, and yes, it deserves its own spot. The Pro V1X plays firmer, launches a bit higher, and generates even more spin than the standard Pro V1 in certain conditions. For fast swing speed players who need that extra spin axis stability, it's incredible. For a mid-handicapper who bought it because the box looked cooler or because they saw Scotty Scheffler play it on TV, it can be a disaster. Golf Monthly's guide on high swing speed golf balls says high-speed players generally need higher compression balls.
25 Pro 1X y la 2025 Pro 1. En este video, vamos a probar estas pelotas de golf una contra otra para ver cómo son. Pero también las vamos a comparar con mi actual jugadora, la 2023 Pro. No he tenido prácticamente ningún problema con esta bola de golf, así que veremos qué tal son las nuevas, si son mejores. Lo que he oído de Titleist inicialmente se suponía que tendrían un poco más de efecto.
That's the Pro V1X's wheelhouse. But flip that around. If you swing under 100 miles per hour, a high compression ball doesn't compress properly at impact. You get less energy transfer, less distance, and a ball flight that feels dead. You're literally fighting the physics of your own swing every time you tee it up. And you're paying roughly $4.50 per ball for the privilege. The uncomfortable question is this: would you rather play a ball designed for someone else's swing or a ball designed for yours? Number 3 is the ball that broke the internet. The Kirkland Signature Golf Ball from Costco. When this ball first appeared back in 2016, it sent shockwaves through the golf world. A 3-piece urethane ball sold at Costco for a fraction of premium prices. Golfers lost their minds. Titleist filed a lawsuit. Online forums exploded. And suddenly every weekend golfer thought they'd found the ultimate hack against overpriced golf equipment. The hype was massive, and for a while, the original Kirkland ball backed it up. But then came later versions, and the story got complicated. MyGolfSpy's 2024 coverage called the Kirkland ball one of the spinniest balls they had ever tested, while giving it a very poor overall score. That excessive driver spin is the same problem we talked about with the Pro V1, except now you're getting it from a ball that also showed manufacturing inconsistency. MyGolfSpy found that 22% of sample Kirkland Performance Plus balls had significant variation in mantle layer thickness, meaning the layers inside the ball weren't uniform. That inconsistency can mean one ball flies different from the next ball in the same box. At about $1.46 per ball for the V3.0, which sells at $34.99 for 2 dozen. The price is obviously attractive. But there's a catch. In Golf Monthly's testing, the Kirkland V3 lost 6.5 yards with the 7 iron compared to the Pro V1, and greenside spin and control were notably less. Now here's where it gets interesting. The story changed somewhat with the newer 2025 Kirkland Performance Plus. A quietly released version, sometimes called the V3.5 with a red stripe box and hollow arrow markings, appeared in late 2024 and early 2025. MyGolfSpy said this looked like Kirkland's best ball since the famous 2016 original, with better driver spin control and playable green stopping power. So the accurate picture is this. If you're still riding the old Kirkland hype and buying whatever version is on the shelf without checking, you might be playing a ball that spins too much off the driver and not enough around the greens. The newer version appears improved, but you need to know which one you're actually buying. Number 4 is the Callaway Super Soft, and this is where we flip the script.
All right, so here are the results for my 58 degree. So for the 2023 ball, basically we're getting an average of 80 yards, and then a ball speed of 71.5, and a spin rate of 10,815. Now with the 2025 ball, the results are about an average of 79 yards, a ball speed.
Everything we've talked about so far involves too much spin. The Super Soft has the opposite problem for certain players. It's one of the most popular balls in amateur golf because of that name. Super Soft. It feels great off the putter face. It feels pleasant on irons. And for slower swing speed golfers, the low compression helps them launch the ball easier and get more carry distance. That's real, and for the right player, the Super Soft is genuinely a good fit. But testing from Golfer Hive on the 2023 Callaway Super Soft found very low greenside spin. Chips that should check up tend to run out. For players with swing speeds above 105 miles per hour, the ball can create spin and trajectory issues because faster swingers overcompress the soft core. You lose control of ball flight. You lose the ability to shape shots. And around the greens where scoring actually happens, you're playing with a ball that doesn't bite. The Super Soft sells in enormous volume because the name promises comfort, and it delivers comfort. What it doesn't always deliver is scoring. If your swing speed is fast enough to compress a firmer ball, and if you want any kind of short game control, the Super Soft might be costing you strokes in the places you don't expect. Number 5 is the Callaway Warbird. This is a pure distance ball. It's designed to fly far and fly straight, and for beginners or high handicappers who just want to keep the ball in the fairway, there's an argument for it. But Golf Monthly's review spelled out the trade-off clearly. The Warbird won't offer quite enough spin and control around the greens. That's the bargain you're making with almost every distance-focused ball on the market. You gain yards off the tee and lose strokes around the green. Here's the math that most golfers never do. The average amateur doesn't lose most of their strokes on drives. They lose strokes on approach shots, chips, and putts. If your ball can't check up on a chip from 30 yards, if it rolls 8 feet past the hole instead of stopping within 3 feet, you're giving back every yard you gained off the tee, and then some. The Warbird is cheap, it flies far, and for a pure beginner still learning to make contact, that's fine. But if you've been playing for a year or two and you're still reaching for the distance ball because you think length is your problem, you might be looking in the wrong direction entirely. Number 6 is the Vice Pro. Vice built a strong following online with direct-to-consumer pricing and a premium look that rivals the big brands. The Vice Pro is a urethane-covered, multi-layer ball marketed at players who want tour-level performance without the tour-level price tag. And for a certain swing profile, it works well. The problem is the same one that haunts every ball on this list. Golfers buy the Vice Pro because of the branding, the online reviews, and the feeling of getting a deal. But a urethane tour ball still generates tour-level spin. If you're a 15 handicapper who slices the ball, more spin isn't your friend. It amplifies the curve. It makes your misses miss by more. And because Vice sells primarily online, most buyers never get a chance to test the ball against alternatives on a launch monitor before committing to a bulk purchase. You might be buying 3 dozen balls optimized for a swing you don't have. Number 7 is the Noodle Long and Soft. And this one is here to represent every ultra-budget, feel-good distance ball on the rack. The Noodle has been around for years. It's inexpensive, it's soft, and it promises both length and feel. For a casual golfer who plays a few times per year and doesn't want to spend serious money on balls they'll lose, the noodle is fine. But for anyone trying to actually improve and lower their handicap, playing a budget ball with limited spin control and inconsistent flight characteristics can mask what's really happening with your swing. You can't tell if your approach shot came up short because of your swing or because the ball didn't generate enough spin to hold its line in the wind. You can't tell if your chip ran out because of your technique or because the ball has no greenside bite. At some point, the ball has to give you honest feedback, and ultra-budget balls often don't. Now, let's zoom out and talk about something bigger that's about to change every golf ball on the market. The USGA and R&A, the two governing bodies that regulate golf equipment, have declared that current increases in driving distance are unsustainable. On the PGA Tour in 2025, average driving distance hit 302.8 yards. Courses are being stretched to their limits. Maintenance costs are rising, and the governing bodies have had enough. In December 2023, they announced a distance rollback through revised testing conditions for golf balls. Under the new overall distance standard, which takes effect in January 2028 for competitive golf and January 2030 for recreational play, the test conditions change significantly. The clubhead velocity test speed goes up from 120 miles per hour to 125 miles per hour. Test spin drops from roughly 2,520 RPM to about 2,200 RPM. Launch angle increases from 10 degrees to about 11 degrees. The maximum distance cap stays at 317 yards, plus a 3-yard tolerance. Professionals are expected to lose up to 15 yards with the driver once the rollback is fully in effect. For amateurs, the distance loss decreases as swing speed drops. Titleist CEO David Maher has publicly opposed the rollback, stating that existing golf ball regulation is effective and the rollback is unnecessary and not in the best interest of golfers. But the ruling bodies are moving forward regardless. What does this mean for you? Every golf ball on the market will eventually need to conform to the new standard. The ball you're playing today might not be legal by 2030, and the performance characteristics you've gotten used to, the spin rates, the launch angles, the carry distances, are all going to shift. This makes choosing the right ball for your game even more important right now, because the window for current ball technology is closing. So what should you actually do? Here's the honest answer that nobody trying to sell you golf balls wants you to hear. A discussion on Golf URX about Kirkland Performance had a useful counterpoint that applies to every ball on this list. Several golfers argued that the swing matters more than the ball, and that once you play the same ball consistently, small differences may not radically change your handicap. That's partially true. Consistency matters more than brand loyalty. But here's what's also true. Playing the wrong ball for your swing speed, your spin profile, and your skill level is like wearing the wrong size shoes for a marathon. You can still finish, but you're making it harder than it needs to be. If your swing speed is under 85 miles per hour, you probably want a low compression ball that helps you launch it higher and carry it farther. If your swing speed is over 105 miles per hour, you need a higher compression ball that won't overspin and balloon on you. If you're a high handicapper losing multiple balls per round, spending $55 per dozen on Pro V1s is throwing money away. If you're a single-digit handicap who relies on short game spin, playing a distance ball to save a few bucks is costing you strokes. None of these 7 balls are objectively terrible. Every single one of them is someone's perfect match. The Titleist Pro V1 is the best ball in golf for the right player. The Kirkland is an incredible value for the right player. The Callaway Supersoft is a smart choice for the right player. The problem is that most golfers never figure out if they're the right player. They pick balls based on what the pros play, what's cheapest at the store, what their buddy recommended, or what went viral online. And that mismatch between ball and player is what's quietly destroying scores across every public course in the country. Get on a launch monitor. Test 3 or 4 different balls. Look at your driver spin numbers, your iron carry distances, and your greenside spin rates. The data will tell you what your ego won't. And the right ball, matched to your actual game and not your aspirational game, might be the easiest improvement you make all year.